Welcome back to the next edition of Funding Fridays. My name's Debbie Lewis and I am the Regional Ecosystem Manager at NatWest Enterprise covering the Midlands and East of England. I am joined every week, well, almost every week, on my virtual sofa by somebody in our network that has a pot of money that might be eligible for you to tap into it. So I'm not allowed. In fact, I've been banned from using the phrase free money, but there you go, just said it. So so shoot me. I am joined today by the wonderful Chris Woodward of Innovate UK EDGE, and I must get that right, Chris. Innovate UK EDGE, and we're going to be talking about the RTO Catapult grant. But before we get stuck in, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
No, thank you for having me, Debbie. Pleasure to be here. Cheers.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and who are Innovate UK EDGE.
So a bit of background to myself. I am a team manager for Innovate UK EDGE, and we cover the East of England and the East Midlands. To drill down in that a little bit more, Innovate UK EDGE is the government's innovation department. So basically, we provide a range of support for innovative UK SMEs and to help those companies grow and scale within the UK economy. So this can be a range of business support and also funding and finance. So especially what we're here to talk about today.
Absolutely brilliant. And when we talk about innovation, I often think our entrepreneurs in the ecosystem lean towards academia or something that's, you know, really high tech, futuristic innovation. Could Bob the Butcher have some innovative ideas potentially that would be of interest to this grant, or are we looking at that really forward, futuristic focused type of demographic?
When we're typically looking at the national level grants, we have to look at something that has an element of risk associated with it. So a lot of the larger scale grants especially do want to be focusing on novel step change innovation, probably towards more radical innovation than incremental innovation as well. So that tends to be where a lot of the focus lies with the Innovate UK support.
Brilliant. And I know we've spoken previously, and I've spoken to some of your colleagues. You have tons of grants available. There's loads of money out there.
Absolutely, there is. Yes, there's a wide range of different things, and there's different grants depending on what sector you might be focusing on, different subtopics within those sectors as well. And there's open calls that go across different sectors as well. There's a wide range of different things, and they also have different mechanisms. So you might be looking at proof of concept, early stage feasibility. It might be later stage, closer to market activities around demonstration, validation. So there are loads and loads of different funding mechanisms available. So the best way you can find out about that is just getting in touch with Innovate UK EDGE. We are the frontline staff on the ground to actually really interact with the Innovate UK clients within the country.
Amazing. Thank you for clarifying. So we're going to talk specifically today about the RTO Catapult grant. So I know there are others, and I know we're going to do more episodes, and absolutely people can reach out to you if they don't want to wait for those episodes to drip through.
Absolutely.
Tell us specifically about this one. What does it stand for, RTO, and what is it?
This one is one of the most interesting ones that are available at the moment. RTO stands for Research and Technology Organisation. When we're looking at it, it's a relatively small grant. It is £15,000 that is available for companies to work with either a research and technology organisation or one of the UK's 9 Catapult facilities, which are run and developed by Innovate UK. But that 15,000, the interesting part about it is that compared to a lot of the Innovate UK grants, it is 100% funded. So a lot of the grants are on a co-investment model. Usually the larger ones like the Smart Grant are probably around 70-30. So to have something that's 100% funded is quite rare. So that's a really nice bonus in itself.
Some would say free money, Chris, right? Some would say free
money.
Well,
absolutely. That's always a good hook for people, isn't it?
No, that's brilliant. And I don't want to belittle the fact that this is not going to be something that you're just writing checks and handing it out to people. What's the process?
So it is a 2-stage application process. So all of the companies have to be working with Innovate UK EDGE. So we are actually the company that are brokering this funding support. A lot of the competitions you apply directly to Innovate UK centrally, but this is working with an EDGE advisor to apply for this funding. So the 2-stage application process is around a 2-page expression of interest, giving a brief overview of the company, what you're looking to do within the project, and your core strategy for the business. Then when that goes in for approval, that can get turned around in a couple of days via our grant review team, and then you go on to a second stage application. At that stage, you need to be interacting with a service provider, so either a research and technology organization or one of the catapults, because in essence, it is to utilize either their expertise or their facilities to help speed up the development of an innovation.
Brilliant.
So that second stage is probably around a 5-page application. When we're talking about that, both of those phases, that's pretty minimal compared to a lot of the actual grant processes, because some of them are quite significant if you're going for 6 or 7 figures. So a lot of pluses there for the companies that are looking to apply.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that when we were kind of having that exploratory chat around which grant should we get started with, you were very, very clear that yes, for Innovate UK and Innovate UK EDGE, this is a relatively small grant, but it's almost that intermediate stage between the easy to apply for £2,000 grants that other organisations might give out. It's harder to get than that, but it's one of the easiest ones of the Innovate UK EDGE pots of money, because it's that smaller end for you guys.
Absolutely. And it fills a gap for a lot of companies, because they might be in a phase where they want to be doing testing, validation, prototyping, certification activities. There's a wide range of topics that these grants can actually cover, but certainly for even a pre-revenue company, that 15K could be quite pivotal to actually really getting a new innovation to market.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a clean transport accelerator cohort on the NatWest Accelerator. And if their ears are not pricking up now, then I don't know what will get them interested. It will be perfect for them. So listen up. What I do want to do is just go back to what is the difference between Innovate UK and Innovate UK EDGE, because you are almost one and the same, but very different.
Well, we basically are, and the way our CEO, Indra Mukherjee, likes to point it, we are the frontline staff. So we are the people on the ground. We are spread across the UK. We're in every region of the UK. And we are the ones on a day-to-day basis interacting with companies within our ecosystems. And Innovate UK is almost like the higher level government department that defines the strategy, defines the support mechanisms. There are also other parts within that ecosystem via Innovate UK. There's the knowledge transfer networks. There's the catapults, which are obviously very pertinent for this discussion around the grants. But there's a wide range of sub-departments within Innovate UK that do actually go about supporting innovative UK SMEs.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that.
Okay.
Now, I don't mind sharing with you that a lot of the feedback we get around innovation grants and these bigger awards, people really worry about filling in the paperwork. They're really nervous about the application. What advice can you give our listeners if they've never done one before, or perhaps they've done a couple and never been successful? What do they need to know?
There's a lot of tips and tricks associated with all of the different funding competitions. Firstly, I'd say always get in touch with an Innovate UK EDGE specialist, because we have a range of different expertise within our teams, whether it's around access to finance, sustainability, marketing, whatever. And we specifically have grant specialists within our team. Now I'm a team manager. Previously, I worked in another life as a bid writing specialist, so helping companies to draw down Innovate UK funding, European Commission funding. We have a wide range of specialists within our team that can especially help with that. I must say, we can't actually help a company write the proposal, but it's about guiding them throughout the journey for putting an application forwards. So identifying what the right kind of calls and opportunities they should go for, and then really interrogating what they need to do within the application process. And we are in touch with a lot of the evaluators for these programs as well. So we know the tips and tricks that they're looking for. So we can provide some insights that and make sure they're ticking the boxes. So there's a lot of subtle things that you want to play towards with the audience for these competitions. And we can really give you that insight to help you along the way.
Awesome, thank you. And you want to give the money away? I know that sounds like a stupid question.
Of course we do. Yeah, we want to see the economy grow. We want to see these innovative companies to get in new products to market and succeeding not only in the UK but overseas as well. That's the aim of the game.
Brilliant. Is there a lot of competition? Are they hotly contested?
Certainly, some of them are competitive competitions. So the SMART is the most popular one because any company from any walk of life can apply to that as long as it's got an innovative focus towards the project. It just depends on each competition. The RTO and Catapult grants, there isn't a specific deadline, so it's a rolling program. So it's on a first come, first served basis. Currently, we have a total of 1.8 million in the budget for that, of which about 300,000 is allocated so far. So there's a lot in the pot still. So we're at a position now where we're still inviting EOIs, we're still looking for companies to get involved, and that budget needs to be used up by the end of March next year. So it has to be used. It's there for companies to go for. So we're really encouraging people as much as possible to get their teeth into that whole process and get as much money as they can.
Brilliant. And I recognise that there are a huge number of businesses that could apply, but can you tell us a little bit about the types of businesses that you would expect to be seeing on those application forms, or who would you encourage to apply for it?
The innovation has to be at the core of all of these kind of projects. But we see a range of different companies. We see early stage companies that are applying for grants with Innovate UK that are pre-revenue, but we also see companies that could have been around for 30 to 40 years that are just looking at a new innovation or adapting an existing innovation to a new marketplace. So we see all different types of companies. It's not just for one type of company, but it's all about making sure that the innovation is there. There's absolute growth potential with that project as well, and there's got really good capability to exploit that successfully, whether they want to do that themselves, whether they want to license the tech, whether they want to go into international markets. That growth aspiration has to be really key alongside the innovative nature of the project.
Brilliant. That's really helpful. Thank you. Why do they do this? Why do they give away these grant pots? What's the benefit of doing so? I think a lot of people who have never experienced grants before, they approach them with some level of nervousness that maybe there's a scam, or maybe there's a catch. Why did the government make this money available?
The nature of grants is that there's never any clawback, but what it's about is creating growth within the UK economy. So when we're working with a company, we're trying to help them grow, even through our business support mechanisms. So we're trying to help them increase their revenue, increase their profitability, try and create jobs within the UK market as well. And these same criteria apply to when they're actually bringing grants to the table for companies as well. So it's all about stimulating growth within the UK economy.
Brilliant. Is there any eligibility criteria? Do they need to be a certain size or have been established a certain amount of time for this RTO Catapult grant?
The company needs to be, they can be pre-revenue companies. However, they need to be registered as a limited company. They cannot be a holding company or a dormant company, so they have to have that. They cannot have more than 2 CCJs, which are totaling £10,000 as well. So there are a range of different criteria that they have to adhere to. But to be honest, it's a very open competition. It is pretty easy to be able to get one of these grants as long as you're engaged within the Innovate UK EDGE ecosystem, and we can bring you towards this opportunity.
Fantastic. So we've covered eligibility, we've covered access, we've covered application. Is there anything else we haven't talked about that you think this is a commonly asked question, or this is something I thought we should talk about today?
I think it's the range of activities. So I touched on it a little bit earlier on, but it really is all about engaging with the catapults for either their expertise or facilities. So another thing that I think is probably one of the most problematic areas for SMEs bringing a new product to market is getting market intelligence. So whether you're going to a private investor or whether you're going to one of the main grant funding bodies as well, being able to really identify the size and opportunity of your marketplace and being able to quantify that without engaging with someone such as a market research consultancy, where you're probably going to pay thousands of pounds, which a lot of SMEs can't actually afford, then that can be one of the topics that could actually be covered via the RTO Catapult grant, alongside the other parts that I mentioned around really exploring and testing new product ideas, seeking technical expertise or sector-specific knowledge relating to your products, regulatory support, testing, validation, all of these kind of areas. But I think especially the market intelligence is probably one of the key areas that I've seen supported through last year's cohort, and I think it should be exploited this year as well.
Definitely. And I think never in my lifetime have I been so... The data that we've always used has been pre-pandemic. People's behaviours have changed, industries have changed, landscapes have changed. So actually, there's never been a more needed time for people to go out and do fresh research with fresh data, because you just, in my opinion, you just can't rely on the pre-pandemic stuff so much anymore in so many cases. Something I have just thought of is geographic location. So can you take inquiries from anyone across the Midlands and East of England, which is my patch, or beyond, if they're listening from outside the region?
Certainly, this grant is available to all UK regions as well. What it's split up into is to two key areas. There's a North team and there's a South team as well. So what happens if you go through to the Innovate UK EDGE website, which is innovateukedge.ukri.org, then there's an inquiry platform on that if you aren't already in touch with an EDGE specialist. So either way, we'll be able to deal with that inquiry and push you towards the right team, whether it's in the north or the south of the country.
Awesome. And I will put that link in the intro to the podcast and the YouTube channel. So if you didn't manage to catch it, because it's got lots of letters in there. If you didn't,
it's a lengthy one, I'm afraid. Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be in the blurb, so don't worry. Any final words of advice or anything you would urge people to do off of the back of listening to the episode today to get in contact with you?
The grants for the RTO and Catapult supports is up until the end of March, as I said earlier. So jump on it while you can. It's a really interesting opportunity. There aren't many grants available that are at this level and with this funding intervention of 100%, like we said. So we need to jump on it, get in touch with your EDGE specialist. We can help you throughout the process. We can help you with the application as well. And there's still a lot of budget. As I said, there's the majority of the budget still left, but it has to go before the end of March. So step on it.
Hashtag free money. Chris.
Free money. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. I know that we will see you again. We've got at least another 24 grants that we've got to explore.
Looking forward to it, Debbie. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of the week. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks again for having me, Debbie. Really appreciate it. Cheers.